Hi, this is Python programming lesson 3. Uh, in this lesson, so we're going to go through the discussion about the variables. We'll understand what is the variables and how it can be used in Python programming. Before we start, we need to remember that in Python program, variable is an important element. Each and every day, if you're doing the programming or if you're doing any kind of project, you're going to use the variable. Without variables is almost impossible to write a program or to do a project. So we need to have the clear understanding of variable. If we think a variable is like a box. In the box, it can have a value and this value can change. So if you're thinking of a variables, you need to think of a variables in this like a box. We have a box. In this box we can put something, and if we need it, you can take it and you can put something else. For example, if you have a box, in this for example, you have at this moment the pencil, and after some times you take out the pencils and you're going to use different purpose. For example, you're giving the chocolate. So when you change from pencil to the chocolate, this box got the chocolate, not pencil anymore. That's how this concept works. So this important things is to understand the variables can have or can combine the three different things. One is the variables like a person, it should have a name, okay, and data type. If you think about persons is male or female, this kind of stuff, it should have a data type. This data type we are going to make another video on the data type, and this variable must have a value. So variable consists of three things. It should have a name, it should have a data type, and it should have a value. Okay, these are the concept. Now to make this more easier, I'm going to write a programs, and to write a programs, you know that we need the IDLE. So we are going to open the IDLE, then we're going to write a program. When you're going to write a program, so if you write a program, then it will be much easier to understand how it works. So I said the variables, it must have the three things. Variable should have a name. So and this has to use for the comments. So I'm going to make the half of my screen and this half. So we are going to write this program for variable. The variables, for example, if I say the variables the person first name, I'm going to write first name equal and John. So you can see this first name. I'm going to store this John in first name. This is my variable, and you know that this is if something is inside the double quote or single quote string. Why is it string? Because we'll discuss this thing when you're going to discuss the data type. First name is a combination of different letters, so it is string that can take only the string. So if I want to print now this print, and I'm not going to print John anymore. If I want to print John, I'm going to change and write this first name here. Then I'm going to save this program. I'm going to save this program as Then I'm going to run this program. If I run this program, you can see it's going to print John here. And if I'm going to change this name to something else, I'm going to if I say not John anymore, if I say Joe, and I'm going to print now and run the program, it's not printing anymore John, it's going to print Joe. So this is the things. Variables is it should have a name. This is the name, and if you want, you can give this name anything. For this naming, in the next slide we'll discuss how this naming works, and it should have a value, and this variables data type is string. So if you come back to our PowerPoint now, so when you creating a variable, you're going to create a variables, and in naming variables, the important thing is these are the things really important when you're writing a Python variables. To be honest, these are the basics you need to remember. A variable name cannot start with a number. This means we cannot start. For example, I'm going to print John age. I cannot say 10 years equal So I'll make this one comments, and I'm going to print this 10 years. If I'm trying to print this comment, this line is not going to do anything else. Now I have created one variable called 10 years, and I'm going to print, for example, the 10 John, maybe the 10 Joe is 10. So I'm going to print this 10 years. If I'm going to print this program, let's see what's going to happen. He's saying the invalid syntax. Why is saying the invalid syntax? Because the rules says a variable cannot start with the numbers. That's why it's not working. It's not working because it started the 10 numbers. So if we remove this and just put the years, yes, okay, it's not working because you did not change over here. So this is one more important. So this years, this variable name and this variable, it has to be the same. So if I print it now, you will see it's going to display 10. So first rule is variable cannot start with a number. Case sensitive means the variables you communicating the variables, and you're going to define a variable. For example, I define a variable here, and my second variable, first variable is first name. I got two variables here, first name and years. So I have created two variables. It's my first name, which got a value for John, sorry, and my second variables I created age, years, or I'm going to put it age, which is 10. Now I'm going to print these two variables. So if I try to print now, I'm going to save this program. So I'm going to print. It's saying the age is not defined. Remember, when you're running a program, this red writing, when you see them, you need to be very careful. You need to read them. The Python program is going to tell you the line number is line 6 here, and it's going to tell what is this line is print age, and what is the problem. It's going to tell you exactly. You need to find out. But this is the one good things about the Python program is it will tell you the line numbers. It will give you the what line it is, and it will tell you the what problem as well. It's telling this age is not defined. Exactly, it is. We have defined the age, and we're writing different way. This is because Python is a case sensitive program in language. So if you're writing age here, all lowercase, and you're trying to print different way with a capital, it's not going to work. If you change this age and run this program, it's absolutely fine. So remember, when you're creating a variable for the first name here and age two variables, it has to be, when you just calling this variable or trying to print this variable, it has to be the exactly same. Now let's see our third rule. Third rule means it's saying that no space. So a variable name must not have any space. What is saying, I'm going to create, I have the variable here, so my variable is got the first name. If I were trying to separate them, and I'm going to separate here as well, let's see what's going to happen. It's saying that invalid syntax because we are not following the rules. So a variable name must not have any space. So if you want to separate them, you can use underscore. It's absolutely fine. Underscore, if you use the underscore here, it's fine. You run the program, it should be fine, but you must not use the space. Or you can use the camel case. Camel case means first word, all the letter is lowercase, second letter, first letter will be capital, rest of them is lower. If you got third word, then first letter will be the uppercase and rest of them is continuous. So if we say name here, and this is kind of first name, and or if you say of the person, this is kind of a camel case. Each and every letter part of is using with the capitals. So this is the camel case as well. So you can use, you cannot separate them, but you can use the camel case or you can use the underscore. So he's going to print, it's working now. And let's see if we have Python keywords. This is the, when you, if you go to the Python website, for example, if you go here, you type like Python keywords, you'll find a lot of Python keywords. Even AWS, there are different links. You'll find what are the keywords are in Python. So if you go into the Python keyword, you'll find a different keywords are available in Python. Those keywords we cannot use we cannot use those keywords. We cannot use those keywords in our as a variable. So if you're seeing this kind of variables, whatever the Python keywords are available, we cannot use them as our variable name. So we are not going to use any kind of Python keywords. And one more thing is a good or bad practice. This is very important. This is very important. Why? Because most of the programmers or most of the students make a mistake. Just A, then B, and then C equal like this. They do the like this, or A1, A2, and then they try to print them. There's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong as a syntax wise. There's nothing wrong, but this is not a good practice. Why this is not a good practice? The problem is in this program maybe you got the 3 different variables, but if the program is bigger and you got the different parts of the program, it's really hard to understand what variable is doing what. So it's a bit confusing. So that's why I said good or bad practice. This is, if you're using this program, if you're using this syntax, the program is going to work fine. You will not get any kind of error. But the problem is, maybe program get bigger and someone is going to work on your program, or later on you're going to work on your program. It's really hard to understand what variable is doing what. So now I'm going to give you a little task. This is the task for you, and first of all I have provided you 6 different variables here, a variable name. Now you're going to find out is it correct or incorrect, and what's the reason is correct or incorrect. So you pause the video, try to solve it. I'm going to give you maybe, it shouldn't take more than 3 minutes. After 2-3 minutes, whatever time, pause the video, complete it, then check the solutions. So I'm going to put the solutions. Okay, are you ready? If you're ready, try to solve it. And here is the solutions for this task. The solution is here. First name is incorrect because there's a space here, that's why it's incorrect. 10 years is incorrect because it started the number. First name, this is fine. I use the index code, so it's fine. A is correct, but it's not a good practice because this is confusing. And print is incorrect because this print is a Python keyword. This first name is correct. It's used the camel case. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, subscribe my channel. You'll find more videos on Python programming. Thank you. Bye.